Hey guys, welcome out to the range. Today we are taking another look at the Tier 1 Citizen rifle standards. What I did was I took the handgun combatives handgun standards that I got from Dave Spalding, and I reworked the numbers a little bit for rifle, and I actually added one standard, and then I modified one at the end, and we'll get to that as we go. But basically, I'm just going to run this straight through for you guys. All right, so the first one is going to be ready position, fire one shot. Ready position is either this or this. And I prefer the low ready position because it allows you to have the rifle in a position ready on your shoulder. So all you're doing is snapping it up to your shoulder, flicking off your safety and taking your shot. As opposed to this, which is punch all the way out, then all the way back. And if you're not doing it that way, you're not understanding this has to be done all the way out and then all the way back. The idea for this is to clear all the junk you've got on. So it's out, back, on, as opposed to already contacting and immediately on target. And with this, at 10 yards, it doesn't matter if you're angled like this. It's a completely irrelevant thing at 10 yards. If you were at 50, 75, 100, 200, whatever, you got to understand that the second you turn your rifle sideways, you better remember that you need to be aiming high to the magazine side, because you have to compensate for the fact that your muzzle and your optic are no longer on the same visual plane. All right, ready position, fire one shot. Part time, 1 second. And by the way, this is cold. I literally just got out here and got started. His left eye, 1.11. His right forehead, 1.02. His left eyebrow, 1.04. That's a tough standard to reach. Dead center of the forehead, 1.0 on the nose. Right eye, 1.05. I may have to modify that a little bit, otherwise students are going to get frustrated beyond all belief. .06. Let me tell you guys, one of the things that you have to be cognizant of as an instructor is to make sure that you're working with times that are realistic and not so frustrating to the student that the person just goes, why am I even freaking trying this? You want to make a reachable standard, which is the required time, and then a desired time, which is kind of like for that upper echelon of student. So you're basically giving two groups because beginners have no business doing this. This is intermediate and advanced. So you're basically giving times for intermediate and advanced students with the required time and the desired time. So I'm going to have to modify that ready position, fire one shot. That's a lot to ask from a rifle, because from a handgun, your ready position is here, and it's literally pop. Whereas with a rifle, especially with a heavy gun like this Mark 18, it's up, and it's basically up, stop, safety off, find your shot, take your shot. So because of the weight of this gun, you're having to work a little extra to stabilize it before you pull the trigger. Otherwise, all you're doing is you're launching rounds, and that's irresponsible. Dead center, 0.97. Okay, that's what I got the other day. Was like 0.97. At my fastest, it was 0.97. 0.02. .99. Okay. I may change that to 1.10. Let's go ahead and mark that now. Because what I don't want is students having to run like a bazillion reps just to reach that 1.0. So let's change that to 1.10. And I guess desired time would have to be 1.0. Okay, next one is ready position, fire 4 shots. Ready position, fire 4 shots. Hard time of 2. 1.83. So that, yeah, that is doable. That is a reasonable number. Oh, and you know what? And I just caught myself cheating, so I want to go ahead and make that point. I caught myself going like this. This is not a ready position. This is a threat management position. This is a ready position, or this is a ready position. Once you start getting up into this window, you're managing that threat. Here, you're in a ready position. .90. Okay, so that works too. All right, so the next one's going to be hanging, fire 1 shot. Hanging means on the sling in a relaxed position. This would be the moment where you suddenly realize somebody's targeting you, and the weapon would have to immediately come up into the fight. But here it's just a relaxed standing position. .72. I made the time, didn't make the desired time. Here I am gaming it already. Actually, let me show you guys the difference. Just now, I don't know if the camera picked it up, just now I was doing this. Does anybody stand like this regularly? No, we stand like this regularly, or like this regularly, but we don't stand like this. So this one requires this, and from here it's wow. That's pushing it. Wow, I actually almost made it was 1.63, and I almost made the 1.60 desired, so it's good. Let me try that one more time. Oh man, that was good. Dead center punch. 1.5, yeah, 1.53. Dead center punch, like literally there. 1.53, because the desired is 1.60. As you guys can see, as long as you have a solid basis of understanding of the manual of arms of the AR-15, it takes you, what was that, 4, 5 reps, 6 reps at the most to get from barely making it to actually making it, and then making the desired time. All right, on target, empty chamber, tap, rack, bang. This is the one that I added today, actually, this morning. On target, empty chamber, tap, rack, bang. That shot was a little bit low. 2.46, so yeah, totally missed it. When you're doing on target, you can actually be safety off and the slack taken out, or, well, tell you what we'll do. You can be slack taken out of the trigger, but holding that shot. And I'll tell you why holding the shot versus having clicked the trigger makes a difference. Holding the shot gives you an input. Click as opposed to bang. So by getting a true click, when you shoot a rifle, there's a frequency that goes through the entire gun that you feel in the zygomatic arch, the bone structure right there. And that click tells you you have a problem versus a success. And it also tells you what kind of an issue you've got, because if you pull the trigger and nothing happens, you've got a whole nother problem on your hands. You may actually have a broken spring, or your hammer may already be in the forward position, which means, wow, I didn't even rack this gun. .06, that's respectable. 2.40 is the required, 2.20 is the desired, and I just did 2.06, so that is a keeper. Next one is on target, fire 1 shot, emergency reload, fire 1 shot. .86. On target, fire 1 shot, emergency reload. Yeah, 3.25. So yeah, so I actually made the desired. It's 2.86. So I made the time and the desired time. Let's try that one more time. 2.68. Good. Okay. Next one, on target, simulate stovepipe, pull trigger, clear rifle, fire one shot. So mag out, live round out. The stovepipe jam essentially is talking about the moment in time where you pull the trigger. Being a lefty, this happens every once in a while. The casing hits my forearm and bounces back into the chamber. So this is not an unheard of problem for me. Casing goes in, drop the BCG against it, ammo goes in. On target, simulate stovepipe, pull trigger, clear rifle, fire one shot in 3.0. For this, I have to do, and actually everyone has to do this, unlike with a handgun where you basically just turn it on an angle and rack it, or even as a righty, turn it on an angle and rack it. Of course, for the righties, you guys would want to tilt it just a little bit further. You don't want to be doing this thing because the threat is this way. So you want to stay facing the threat. So it would be click, and it would be tap, turn the gun, not like this, but like this, rack, and the stovepipe falls out and back on. For a rifle, you absolutely have to tilt it this way because gravity has to help you get this out. So you're going to have to tilt it this way. For a righty, all that is you get a click, you realize what you've got on your hands, you turn the rifle, you run the charging handle, the casing falls out, and you're back on the gun. .83. So that's yeah, so 3.0, desired of 2.6, so let's run it one more time. .61. Good. That was just a fuzz off of the desired time of 2.60. Good. Let's move on. On target, simulate double feed, pull trigger, clear rifle, fire one shot. Okay, this is what I figured out last night when I was editing the first video. I don't want to keep sacrificing live ammo because live ammo is pricey. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take two casings. And I'm going to try this with you guys here for the first time. I'm going to put one in the mag. I'll put the other in the chamber. Then the mag is going to go in on top. Yeah, that should work. There's a casing in the chamber. And the casing in the chamber is simulating the round that has been fired and did not get out of the way in time. Whether that be because the brass is out of spec, the casing edge has failed, the extractor claw may be out of specification and it skipped off the rim of the casing, whatever the whatever is. And so now you have casing in the chamber and you have the next round trying to come up out of the magazine. It's trying to come out of the magazine, go up into the M4 feed ramp and up into the chamber. And it's actually, the live round is nosed into the back of the casing in the chamber. Well, what I found was when I was doing this, it's always this way, all you do is you just ding up round after round after round, because what you end up doing is you end up moving live ammo partially out of the magazine and it boogers up the rounds. So now instead of live ammo, I'm putting a casing in its way so that it simulates the live round nosing into the casing in the chamber, and right there it's already doing its job. It's going to simulate that sensation of a mushy charging handle, which is that's all you're going to get out of the charging handle. So it's going to be on target, simulate double feed, pull trigger, clear rifle, fire one shot. So, and this has to be 7.75. I had to add extra time to this one because there's a lot of motion involved in this one. You'll see why in a second. Oh, man. That was bad. So I still ended up with a live round on the deck. All right, let's figure out how to make that work. Let's figure this out. This is a standard that I really like from the handgun side of the world. I don't want to give it up. And actually, let me just walk you through what it looks like. let's imagine that I have the double feed set up. What I get when I pull the trigger is I get a click rather than a bang. Well, what's the fix for this? It's an immediate tap, rack, back on the gun. Well, this is a very distinct motion and sensation. It's all the way back, all the way forward. You know this because you feel the spring in your shoulder and you feel the frequency through the gun in your body. You literally feel it in your bones. So now I know that the gun is back in battery, so now I can get back on the gun if I want. The problem is, if I don't get this and I get about here, and I get a weird mushy charging handle, I know there's something jacked up going on, especially for those of you who are righties. You can't see that side of the gun. At least I can get away with that during the daytime, but that's irrelevant because every technique we do has to cross over into darkness. So this is all done by feel. You pull, your charging handle feels mushy, you immediately release the charging handle, and of course it's going to stop right here. You forcefully extract your magazine, retain your magazine, hold the front of the gun, and it should be 1, 2, 3, mag back in, rack the gun, fire your shot. Yeah, I know, easier said than done. Oh man. Yeah, 7.84. That is going to be a booger. That is going to be a booger. And I don't think I ended up with live ammo on the ground this time. I think everything was empty casings. So let's set that up one more time and make sure it actually, want to make sure that actually runs properly for you guys. That was, nah. I think that time's going to have to go up to 8. Because I still ended up with a live round in the mix. And it ends up happening when you do the tap rack. It peels off another round. And with all honesty, guys, I'm not going to have a standard that's got you sacrificing rounds. Someone's going to say, well, why don't you get dummy rounds? Bro, dummy rounds cost more than real ammo does. Even at today's crazy ammo prices, dummy rounds still cost more than real ammo. So there's one more bullet down the drain. So this standard's going to have to go completely. Either that. Oh, I'm glad you mentioned it. Good job. I'm glad you mentioned it. Let's sacrifice 2 casings. Well, let me rephrase that. Let's put 2 casings in the mix. If this gun's going to peel off another live round, then let's put 2 casings in the mix. You are so smart there online. See, the interwebs is not a total failure. All right, let's run her again. Oh. Just made it. 7.54. with a par 775. That should have been better, but that worked because I did not end up with live ammo in the mix getting crushed. So that works. Let's run that again. This is the dilemma that I have being a lefty. This hand has to hold, this hand has to rack. Sometimes, well, let me explain that, because I know there are so many new gun owners you may not understand. You righties, basically, when you're running the gun, if you get a click, all you've got to do is roll to see what you've got. And then you're back in control of the gun. Your shooting hand never has to move here. There's your mag catch. There's your charging handle. For me, as a lefty, I have to get a click, tap, rack. So my shooting hand is busy doing this. Otherwise, I have to do this. This. And I run the risk of popping myself, which I've done. Or I have to come off and go AK style, which I don't like to do because this is not as easy as you think it is under stress. So it's easier for me to take my shooting hand off, rack the gun, and get back on it. But for this one, it's tap, rack, mushy charging handle, mag out, retain the mag, 1, 2, 3, mag in, rack, bang. So for me, there's a whole lot of boop, boop, boop going on with my hands. .771. If I can do that in .771 as a lefty, you regular-handed people can do that in .775. So that's a keeper. So there you go, guys. I know that somebody's going to ask, hey, can we have a copy of that? No, you can't have a copy of that, because this is my rifle standard. This is what I've worked up. I've put the time in, I've invested the ammo, and more than that, there are teaching points that go with this. So having this, look, I'll tell you what this is. Having this on hand is right up there with people, and I'll just do it, and you guys will get it immediately. It's people who think that that matters, which is fire, reload, fire. People think that that's awesome. That's irrelevant, and that one actually wasn't all that awesome. That one was a bit of a goat rodeo. Firing around and doing a reload is nothing but firing around and doing a reload. There's a teaching point that has to go with this, and you have to understand why this is being done. So to just randomly give you the rifle standards and turn you loose with it, you guys can absolutely master every single thing here, and you will have learned nothing. That's why it's crucial that you get out to training. Tactical carbine or tactical rifle, I forget what it's called. Tactical carbine or rifle 1, and go from there. That's a 3-day class. You will come away from that class with a whole bunch of knowledge that you didn't know, and from there you begin to build. And so yeah, I hope this video was helpful to you guys, and if you have any questions or comments, leave them below. I'll do my best to answer them. As always, I thank you guys for watching. God bless you all. Get those guns out in practice. Have a good one.